I first played Doom back in 1996 on PlayStation. A couple of years later, I was playing Quake 2 Capture the Flag online, and I've been playing Quake ever since. That's almost 22 years. I love these games, and a lot of people ask me how I can play the same game for so long. The answer is, it's the best, and no other game has ever had the right combination to keep me entertained. But that doesn't really tell you anything. So what does make Quake so much more fun and interesting to me than other games? Well, let's start by talking about why rules matter. See, if a game has no rules, it's just too open and boring. We want purpose, to solve problems. That's how our brains are wired. Have you ever seen a movie where nothing went wrong? Of course not. That would be insanely boring. Just like a game with no rules, or no purpose, no goal. We thrive on drama, uncertainty, adventure, the feeling we're accomplishing something. Games are meant to challenge and entertain us. They give our brains a reason to work, while also experiencing something amazing. Let's take Tetris as a very basic but good example of a fun game. This is Tetris 5000. As always, you have 7 different blocks that you get in random order, that you have to solve the puzzle of how to fit together. So it's got rules of speed, rules of how the shapes connect, rules of how the lines disappear, and you even get a bonus if you get 4 lines. I can play this for hours. Even though it's the same problem over and over again, the fact that the blocks are different keeps it interesting, especially because the speed increases as you go higher through the levels. And in this they added crazy big blocks to make it even more interesting, because it's more challenging. If they just had these single column blocks coming down all the time, the game would be really boring. It's too easy. Fun is expressing your capabilities while achieving. That's why sport and learning can be fun too. So Tetris is repetitive, but random. So despite the repetition, it's still fun and interesting. Now let's look at a more advanced game in Quake. I play Clan Arena, and the reason is it's mostly battle focused. See, the mode is basically you start with full health and armor, all weapons and all ammo, and then you rely on the 3 main aim methods at various ranges to see who can aim and dodge best. Just like Tetris, as you put this block here and then this block fits, as soon as someone approaches you in Quake, you get the rocket launcher out and shoot at their feet. It just fits into the gameplay, using the rocket splash damage to make sure you get some health off them, and hoping you can bounce them to get direct hits. The aim method for this one is leading, because it's a projectile. You gotta lead your aim. Then, if they move further away, you can switch to your lightning gun. That's a low damage rapid fire weapon which relies on tracking aim. And then once they move too far away, you switch to the railgun, which is your sniper weapon. Slow reload, instant hit, high damage. Then we have the other versions of those weapons. Grenades are a bounce projectile, so again it's leading aim with a shorter range. Machine gun is a weaker and less accurate version of the lightning gun, but it has a bigger range, so that's tracking aim. And the shotgun is like an up-close sniper rifle. It's slow reload, instant hit, high damage, up close. But it gets weaker the further away it is. And the plasma gun is a low damage rapid fire projectile, meaning it's a combination of lightning gun and rocket launcher, as in it's leading and tracking aim in one, and the hardest weapon in the game. I'm telling you this because Doom Eternal uses the same kind of weapons, and every weapon has its place in the fight. Just like different combinations of blocks going together, the weapons go together in different combinations in fights. And while your opponents use the same tools, you have to aim your best while dodging their aim, and position yourself in such a way that you get the advantage. I can play Tetris for hours, I can play Quake for decades. Once you get a feel for this stuff, it seriously is amazing. Rocket, lightning gun, rail. Different dodging patterns, different opponents, different strategies. It's still interesting and entertaining even to this day. And it sets you up for every other game too. Once you learn the movement and aim in Quake, you can easily adapt to the other games. That said, people who played Team Fortress 2, Overwatch and maybe even Apex Legends should have a bit of a feel for it already. In great news, Clan Arena will be coming soon to Quake Champions in Season 6. So you'll see me playing a lot of that. And a final note on Quake before we get back to Doom. It also has the best movement in any game, because it has strafe jumping, meaning by using strafing left and right, together with mouse movements, you can increase your speed, so even just running around in Quake is actually fun. Now, the reason I explained all this is because it's part of what makes Doom Eternal the best single player first person shooter ever made. Instead of just running around with the one weapon out, you have to think about how to kill the demons, and it gives you a good reason to switch. Running low on ammo? Better use a chainsaw. Losing health? Do a glory kill. There's a big demon? Better get out the sniper weapon to shoot its weak points. Cacodemon? Throw a grenade in its mouth. The game teaches you the best way to kill demons as you go forward. And like learning a new language, you start to just feel it flow. Your brain is being challenged. Your abilities are growing. You're learning and improving. and even though there is repetition to it, the different combinations of demons and different arenas to do battle in keeps it fresh. The more I do this, the more I love it, and the more addictive it gets. It's like entering a Zen state. You just get zoned in, you know exactly what to do, without even thinking about it. The movement is not as good as Quake for me, but the double jump, dash and air control ability make it pretty fun. And here's what my hand looks like while playing. You see my fingers are constantly moving and hitting a lot of keys. There's always something to do. I love that they've put such a focus on using different weapons, and gave us extra movement abilities. Too many rules and the game is boring because there's no freedom. Not enough rules and the game is also boring because there's not enough to do. This has a good balance of giving you freedom, and also a set way of doing things, so you can get creative with the weapon combinations and which demons you attack first, but there's still a set where you can kill some of them to make it more fun. So gameplay wise, this is one of the best. Quake is still the best, but this would be second. There are so many games that rely on good graphics and sounds to hide the fact that the gameplay is weak. This isn't one of them. This has some of the strongest gameplay I've ever seen. Definitely the strongest single player. But now let's talk about the graphics. If a game doesn't look good, or make you want to be in it, then even with amazing gameplay, you might not want to play it. Gameplay is always first, but you still want good graphics. And this game obviously looks amazing. But the theme is the more interesting part. It's combining religious stuff like hell and demons, with science stuff like Mars and space age weaponry. Or to say it another way, it's the past versus the future. It makes for a really cool art style, and I'm glad they added in the Titans. I always love the larger than life stuff. I don't really need to explain this game to the Doom fans. They already know most of why it's great. That's why I spent a lot of this video explaining what makes the game fun. And while this one has a more arcade vibe to it than the previous, it all just adds to a more hectic gaming experience. So with the extra focus on weapon switching and different aim methods, the extra movement abilities, which can almost feel like Tomb Raider with the level design, the awesome art style, powerful sounding weapons and demons, decent enough story, they pretty much covered everything. I'm really liking this game. For me, it's the best single player experience I've had in over 30 years of gaming. Personally, I'll always go back to multiplayer, mainly Clan Arena in Quake, because facing other humans is a never-ending interesting challenge. And while this does have multiplayer and it might be good, it's pretty safe to say it won't rival Quake for me. Quake is my game. It's all I can play now. It ruined me. And if you liked what I said about Quake, you can check out Quake Champions on Steam. It's free to play and Clan Arena will be in there in the next season after this video, which isn't too long away. Side note, most of the modes I'm not too big on. I think Quake is definitely a Clan Arena game. So when that's out, I hope everyone gets into it and gives it a try. So I'll finish Doom, then I'll see you back in Quake. Anyway, hope that helps. Big thanks to Bethesda Australia for early access to Doom Eternal. This video is not sponsored, all thoughts are my own, and I was not told what to say, other than to avoid the major spoilers. But I would do that anyway. And they sent me this box, which has the game, cassette, art book, poster, and the helmet. It's plastic, but it is an actual helmet, meaning you can wear it. Although I wouldn't wear it on a bike or actually anywhere. So that's what you get if you purchase the collector's edition. Anyway, get into the game, that's the important part. Subscribe to my channel for product reviews, especially mass reviews, and also Quake videos. And as always, like and share this one, and I'll catch you in the next.